my friend Delilah here uh, has asked me, also my basket kitty. Say hi, basket kitty. All right, fine. My basket kitty, Bacon, and Delilah have asked me to help you understand this final paper and give you an outline and review things that we've talked about that you may have missed or you didn't hear. So most of this stuff is based in chapter 8 and chapter 10 of the book, so I would strongly recommend you going over those things. Um, so I want you to remember I'm helping you with my suggestions that I'm giving you today. I'm giving you the rough ideas. I'm going to tell you what I don't want, what I do want, and how you can do it. Uh, but if you don't agree or don't want to do what I suggest, don't. It's just a suggestion. It's up to you. All right. So Delilah is freaking out. She's like, "Hey, you said something," and so I'm like, so I'm going to explain what to do. First thing I want to stress: this is not a book report. I'm including in this announcement. I'm going to include two documents. One is a book report, and one is a rhetorical analysis. I had Monsieur Gepet help me to draft them, so they're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but they're just to give you a rough idea of what I'm looking for. Um, and the one that's called the one I don't want, well, that's the one you should not do because it's a book report. So I chose Winston Churchill's "Fight Him on the Beach" speech. It's a great speech during the war. He came on the radio and was like, "We will fight them on the beach. We will fight," and to fight back the Germans. And then people responded, and it lifted morale when people were really sad, and it helped England win the war. So that's the speech I chose to do. Um, as I am saying this, I know that some of you are just going to do a report on the speech, and that's not what I want. I don't want you to tell me about Winston Churchill. I don't want you to tell me about the speech. I want you to do a rhetorical analysis. To do a rhetorical analysis, you have to understand rhetoric. You are going to have to look up pathos, ethos, logos, kairos, and some other devices. All right? You're going to have to look up initialism. You're going to have to look up alliteration. You're going to have to look up anamorphoria. There's lots of them out there. Similes, metaphor. There's lots. And you're going to have to do some research and find out about those. All right? So, this was my suggested outline. Paragraph 1 is your introduction and your thesis. Your thesis statement could be as simple and as bland as, "This speech was very persuasive and used the following 3 devices, X, Y, and Z." That's pretty much your thesis. A is B. This speech is persuasive through its use of X, Y, and Z. Boom, done. Thesis done. All right, so paragraph 1, introduction and thesis. Paragraph 2, genre explanation. So here, you can go a little bit book report. You can explain what, so in my example I used was, so the first I explained what the speech is, who gave it and stuff like that, what date and stuff like that. Then paragraph 2, I explained why this genre is important and what makes it special. If you remember with our your criticism paper, you had to define the genre. Same kind of thing here. You're going to have to do that again. Paragraph 3 is the first device or argument. So you'll be like, it was very persuasive because it uses ethos. Inside this paragraph, I expect to see a definition of the device, usually cited. I expect you to use an example from the paper, cited, or the speech, and then I expect you to do a quote sandwich of someone else who has talked about that as well, and say, yes, I agree with so and so that this is this. Okay, I expect those things, and it's the same thing. Paragraph 4 and 5, you're just doing the 3 devices: the X, the Y, and the Z. Paragraph 6 is a criticism of the speech. Maybe some people were not very complimentary of the speech. Maybe they don't think it is persuasive. Talk about that. Or counter arguments. Some people would say it wasn't this, it was this. And that's okay. You can acknowledge that. And then paragraph 7, this is probably one of the most important paragraphs. I'd say it's a top 8 paragraph. you need to show me how we know it's a persuasive and effective speech by the audience's reaction. So how did people respond to it? Did they march in the streets and take up shovels and beat back the Germans? Then it was very persuasive. Maybe if you're doing like a YouTube video, you can look at the comments. If you're looking at a song's lyrics, you can look at sales, or you can look at merch with the words written on it. And then paragraph 8 is your conclusion, where you just review everything, you summarize. Now, I need to stress to you guys, I want APA 7. I need citations. I need references. I need abstract. I need, for a lot of you, your formatting is not good. Make sure it's formatted right. These are the things I can take points off of, and I don't want to. I don't want to take stupid little points off because you forgot the page number. I don't want to take points off because you forgot to indent the paragraphs. I don't want to take off points because you indented the abstract paragraph. Do not indent the abstract paragraph. You don't need a running header. You don't need these things. Watch my APA videos. If you have any other questions, by all means, let me know. But Delilah asked me to do this, and I feel kind of bad for Delilah. She cannot go out in the sun. Basket Kitty can. Basket Kitty's is always able to do whatever Basket Kitty wants. He just sits in the basket the whole time I'm working. That's his thing. All right. I hope this video is helpful. If you need anything, let me know.